Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kaylee Ogden. I'm a writer, and I am so excited to jump back into creating content this year. And I'm even more excited to start off with this classic movie from the 1960s. And that movie is El Santo versus las Mujeres Vampiro. Don't come for me. Google Translate did its best. I'm trying. Released in 1962 in Mexico and 1963 in the US under the title Samson versus the Vampire Woman, this movie was directed by Alfonso Corona Blake. This movie stars El Santo, Ofelia Montesco, Lorena Velasquez, Maria Duval, Jamie Fernandez, and Augusto Benedicto. For anyone unfamiliar with El Santo, he was basically Mexico's Superman. He was not just a famous luchador, he also starred in comic books and over 60 films. Santo vs. las Mujeres Vampiros was his first film to go international. El Santo was famous for never removing his silver mask. Even when he was eating in public, he had several different masks for different kinds of occasions. He never revealed his identity until an interview in 1984, where he unmasked himself for the public, and then a week later, he passed away. El Santo was buried with his mask, and his funeral was one of the biggest in Mexico's history. His legend continues to live on in his films and his comic books, as well as through his son and grandsons who have also taken up the luchador masks. 200 years before the movie starts, the vampire queen Zorina was thwarted in her attempt to essentially retire. Zorina needs to find a successor, but it can't just be anyone. It has to be a woman of pure heart in order to take the reins of the vampire queen. So she sends her main girl, Tundra, to go and find the descendant of the last woman that was supposed to be her successor. This woman, Diana, has absolutely no idea what's coming for her, but her dad, he may be hiding some things. He may have a little secret hidden knowledge that he's not too keen on letting on. Her father brings in El Santo to act as Diana's protector until the vampire woman can be defeated for good. Honestly, there's not a lot to say about this movie. It's very simple. It was the 1960s, and it's very reminiscent of the Adam West Batman series to me. It may not give anybody else that vibe, but that's kind of the vibe I got was, 60s superheroes, not a ton of character development going on. We're just here to watch the hero fight the villain, save the day, get the girl, and honestly, this movie delivers that. Tundra is a fantastic main antagonist. I honestly thought Zorina the Vampire Queen was going to be the main antagonist. She wasn't, but we do get Tundra, and Tundra is awesome. I love her. She's so powerful. She just doesn't hold back. She's awesome. El Santo is, of course, incredible. We get to see him wrestle a couple of times in the movie. We get to see him fight all kinds of different vampire minions. The vampires do have male henchmen, so El Santo's not out here punching girls because I don't think that would be very good for El Santo. So we get to see him wrestle guys, we get to see him fight vampire men, we get to see, him thwart the plans. We just get to have a good time watching El Santo be the superhero that he is. This movie also has a higher body count than I was expecting. Especially for the 1960s. I know we got a lot of good kill movies in the 60s, but I don't know. I guess I was just surprised at how willing they were to go. Tundra has a body count in this film. She's out there having a meal. She is doing her thing. I love Tundra. Also, when this might sound weird, but when the vampires go in for a bite, it's crunch and slurp, and which I didn't expect because we got Horror of Dracula in 1958, and that was a Hammer horror film, and even the vampire biting, attacking stuff, there's not a ton in that movie. So for this to come out just those 4 years later, and in Mexico, and just they're just going full I was surprised, pleasantly so. I really enjoyed it. If there was one thing that I would have to complain about, it's that when we're first being introduced to El Santo, we're introduced to him during a wrestling match, and it goes on a little long. If it was just El Santo versus one guy, like there is, spoiler alert, later in the movie, it's just El Santo versus one guy, that would be a different thing, but they keep tagging in other people. In the black and white, it's kind of hard to see El Santo's signature silver mask on occasion. It might have just been the version I was watching, but it was kind of hard to keep track of him, so I didn't know like who was who. It was a little distracting. For somebody who's a fan of Lucha Libre, it may not be as distracting as it was for me. It may not feel as long as it did for me. But honestly, that's the only moment throughout the movie that I was like scrolling on my phone, because I'm like, okay, he's wrestling. He's El Santo, he's gonna win. I don't know if anyone would dare beat El Santo. So that was my one complaint with the movie, but other than that, I enjoyed it. It was a great superhero, save the day kind of movie. So I will talk a little bit more about the vampires and their whole deal in the analysis part. That part's not gonna be too long, because like I said, this movie's kind of, it's a simpler story, so there's not a ton of like to dig into, but we will dig a little bit more in the spoilery section. El Santo versus Mujeres, Vampiros gets a score of 4 out of 5 for me. Yeah, it's not a perfect movie. It's not a super long or super deep movie, but it is really enjoyable. And if you're looking for a bit of vampire action with a Mexican superhero, absolute legend fighting these vampires, I definitely recommend checking it out. It is available on YouTube. Don't tell anybody I told you that, but you know, it's on YouTube. The English dub version is on YouTube right now, which was kind of disappointing. I kind of wanted to watch it in the original Spanish. What are you gonna do? So the English version though is on YouTube, so definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. Now let's talk a little bit about spoilery stuff in the movie. So I really like how the vampire women are portrayed in the movie. They're not entirely like sexualized, which I always worry about, especially when the title is Vampire Women. It kind of gave me like Brides of Dracula vibes. The movie opens and we see the vampires waking up from their 200-year sleep. They have been waiting for a descendant of the previous successor to surface so that they can go and they can, and so that Zarina can hand over being the vampire queen to the new successor. And they're like these, it's like the most amazing, kind of like, not corpse, but like this old cracked, they look like cracked sand. And it's just really cool the way that they've done their makeup. And I'll add a couple of images for that. I really, really like it because you immediately know like that these vampires haven't fed in a long time, that they've been waiting for a long time for something. And it's a great visual storyteller. And I love that the women aren't super like beautiful right away. We get there. Trust me, we get there. I also found some of their powers a little confusing. Like they get some of their powers from the devil, they get some of their powers from the moon. So it was just like these two, like not conflicting, but these two different kind of sets of power that they didn't really explain super well, but I didn't mind because I was just there for a good time. Also, the devil, whenever he's shown, he is a silhouette. He is like a projected shadow on a wall. It's very cool, very Nosferatu. I really liked it, and I just love the whole idea that Zarina just wants to go to hell to be with her devil daddy, and so she's just ready to retire and hand over the reins, and Tundra keeps messing it up for her because she keeps letting the successor slip away. That was the other thing. Needing a woman pure of heart to become the next vampire queen was a little different. So usually they're like, I need virgin blood to renew my youth so I can continue being a vampire. And she's like, no, I just need somebody so I can retire, which I liked. My favorite scene in the movie is probably the wrestling match between El Santo and one of the vampires. It was really good. It was really entertaining because we as the audience know that the other guy's a vampire and El Santo doesn't. Until he starts getting his butt kicked, and then he's like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to lose. Where's the script? But yeah, that scene was incredibly entertaining. I really liked it. any complaints I have with the movie, I would say go still check it out. It's so fun. It's just a 60s superhero movie, but it happens to be from Mexico and have vampires in it. So like, what's there not to love? Check it out. It's on YouTube. I don't know what else to say. I just enjoyed it. It was a fun time. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this first video back. I know it's probably not gonna end up being super long, but I'm still super, super excited to be back making content. I'm even more excited for the next movie, and the movie after that, and all the subsequent movies. I'm just, be ready to go on this journey with me of giddiness and not knowing how to speak, because I just love these movies so much. Most of them. Some of them are... Most of them, though. I like most of them. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today, and as always, I will see you next time. Bye, guys!